Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Ceara, if you don't know. And I put on my Instagram that I was going to do a Q&A, and then I also wanted to tie-dye, so I figured I would just do tie-dye and Q&A at the same time. Take 4. I moved because the sun was coming out. Also, everyone in my family just saw me and wanted to know what I was doing. So for tie-dyeing, I bought this Gildan sweatshirt from Amazon, and then I also bought some sweatpants from Amazon. Okay, it said online and in these directions that it's better if the item's damp. I'm gonna crinkle it, spray it with water, and then I'm gonna tie-dye it. Well, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's fine. First question was, how did you get your job? So, I graduated from the University of Missouri in May of 2018. And okay, also it just says to scrunch. Everyone just says to scrunch the pants, so I'm just gonna scrunch it. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, so I graduated from Mizzou May 2018, and then I did full-time photography, videography as a freelancer. So I just partnered with like a few social media agencies, did some freelance work, and I was doing that full-time until I found like a job that I really wanted to do, really loved, and then I would just do that. So the company I currently work for, Beautiful Destinations, I had been following them for a while and I was kind of stalking their job listings. And then in February of 2019, they posted a job listing for a postgraduate internship. And so I was, working my application, but then I also had a connection of someone who worked there, a connection I made in college. And I reached out and I was like, hey, do you have any tips where I can stand out on my resume? Like any tips on how you got your job there? And he responded back, he was like, oh, hey, Ceara, I've seen your work, like, I'm just gonna forward your resume to our hiring manager. So by having a connection of someone that I had never even personally met, just someone who I've, connected with on LinkedIn in college, that really helped me get to the interview process where I interviewed a few times, some phone call interviews, and then I got the job. So that is the story. How was the transition from making the jump to full-time creating? So, like I mentioned, post-grad, I went full-time freelance, and I think that from all the previous years of experience I had, like I've been doing photography since my sophomore year of high school, doing senior photos for high school seniors, senior photos for college seniors, weddings. I think that transition was so easy for me because I had so many years of experience in high school and college that, post-grad, it just seemed like the right thing to do, given that I was already ready to go. Alright, so I'm just going to take a bit of water, just like spray to get a little bit damp. And then I'm going to take the blue color in this tumble dye. Spray it. Oh gosh, here we go. And then I read online, like, to pull it out and make sure it looks okay. So I'm just going to pull it out. Oh yeah, because like there's definitely pieces that didn't get covered. Oh my god, this is so cute. Okay, this is so easy. Someone asked, how did you find a place to live in New York City? So for me, I found my apartment on Facebook. There's a Facebook group that most people know about if you live in New York City called Gypsy Housing. And I literally, right when I got my job, I just looked on that Facebook group for different postings because prior to coronavirus, there's always like, apartments, people coming and going, and someone posted that they were moving out, but their lease still had 2 months on it, so they were subleasing for April and May, which was when I was moving. And so yeah, I just messaged the girl and I was like, can I sublease your apartment for 2 months? And then I lived there for 2 months. Then the other 2 roommates were both moving out, so then they just gave me the lease to take over. So I got an apartment from Gypsy Housing. I know my story about getting an apartment is like pretty rare. A lot of people usually look on Street Easy, which is a great website, or go through like a broker and have a way harder process of finding an apartment. But it totally just like worked out that, yeah, the people that I lived with were also looking for other places to live, and they let me take over that lease. Okay, so I did the front, now I'm doing the back. I just wiped down the garbage bag and flipped the pants over. And I'm gonna spray it with water again, and I'll answer the next question. Where is the best place to live in New York City? I know it's all relative, but I'm learning. So I feel like most of my friends either live in Brooklyn, particularly like Williamsburg or East Williamsburg. If you want to live in like the middle of it all, I would definitely say Lower East Side or East Village. The rent will be higher than what you pay in Brooklyn. That's why I live in Brooklyn. I can get like really good rate on my rent, but also I'm like super close to Manhattan. But yeah, most of my friends that live in Manhattan are in the East Village just because you're literally next to everything. You can walk to all the bars, like all the cool restaurants. So yeah. So now that I'm on the back, I realize it's best to spray it and then fold it. So I just like unfolded the back and I'm just gonna wrinkle it up again. Okay, I just put the sweatpants down. I got the sweatshirt. Here is the next part. Next question, what's your go-to camera lens? I personally love the 35mm prime lens, also 24mm prime lens. But if you are looking, like if you're looking to get a camera lens starting out, I would definitely say the 24-70 because you get wide angle pictures and also like you can get tight shots. But yeah, 35 and 24 are definitely my favorite. The question was, is it true you had a life-threatening pimple? It wasn't actually life-threatening, but it was massive because it was a bug bite that had turned into pimple because I kept touching it. The rumors are true. Pimpy has since then died. He's passed away, but we forever live in his memory with all the embarrassing photos and videos that still exist from that trip. What's your biggest life hack? So I was thinking about this and I was like, should I talk about like how I get on my flights for cheap or like how I save a lot of money? But then I was like, okay, just general life hacks. Hello? I would say always be meeting people, networking. That's truly the best thing you can do for yourself. Your network is your net worth. You know, it's so much fun to get to know people, go out for coffee, drinks in New York City, but also, yeah, just expanding the people you know. Yeah, that's probably my biggest life hack. Can you make more behind the scenes or how-to videos about photography? Yes, and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys want to see about photography, and I will definitely do that. What do you think New York City will be like after COVID-19? I'm not a doctor, I don't know anything about health-wise coronavirus. I hope things look the same, but I really don't think things will go back to normal until like the end of summer, and then maybe there's gonna be another peak in the fall. So honestly, there's not much to say. There's really no certainty what it's gonna look like. So I think the sweatshirt's done. I've kind of pulled it out. I think it looks pretty good. I like the blue because it kind of just looks like clouds. It's like super nice and a nice shade. So next step is to let it dry for 24 hours and then we're gonna throw it in the dryer to set the dye and then it should be done. Okay, so now McKenna wants me to tie-dye her sweatshirt, but I think I'm just gonna answer the rest of the questions and then do hers because that was so hard trying to like do both. Next question was, did you have a job before you moved to New York? And how did you approach the apartment hunting? So like I said, I got really lucky. I found an apartment really easily on Facebook. Connor's dancing behind the camera. How am I? I definitely recommend if you want to move to New York to sublease at first. Sublease for a month to 2 months while you actually look for a real apartment because then one, it's not a big commitment. You're not signing a lease. And then you can actually be in New York while you're looking for apartments because as you may know, apartments go in New York like this. So when you're actually on the hunt and touring places, you really need to put down your deposit immediately. And I literally can't film here. Riley just opened the window to next to me and people are walking around upstairs. Connor's dancing behind me. Welcome to quarantine. Someone asked, oh my gosh. Okay. Question, what camera do you use? Right now I'm filming on a Canon 5D Mark III. I also have a Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II for vlog stuff. Okay, so there are a few more questions, but I think I need to wrap up because all these noises are just getting a little too much. I'm gonna finish the sweatshirts tomorrow and I'll let you guys know how it turned out. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. I pulled the sweatshirt and the sweatpants out of the plastic bag and I put them over on my porch just to air dry for like a few hours. Now I'm gonna throw them in the dryer to seal the dye and we'll see how they turned out. So that is it for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.